Hey everyone, it's your friend Nicole with this week's Ask Nicole Weekly live stream. So every week I go live, I talk about things related to small business in terms of tech and marketing. And this week's topic is using Pinterest to drive traffic. Now I know Pinterest was a super big deal a couple of years ago, and a bunch of people have thought, what happened to Pinterest? Is it still a thing? And I'm here to tell you it's still a thing. And I want to talk a little bit about reasons why I like to use it and give you some maybe ideas that you can use for your website or business if you want to increase your traffic, increase purchases, that kind of thing. So consider this an overall guide to Pinterest. Now, I've been running some experiments and I'm going to be looking at not only my website data, but also kind of what things look like on Pinterest so that you know. And I'm going to show you really quick in case you've never used Pinterest how this generally works. So first thing is you can be adding pins from, you can add a Pinterest button to a lot of things like your phone and stuff. But if you're kind of old school like me and like to work from a computer, you can upload a picture, you title your pin, you write a description for your pin, including hashtags, and then you add a link for the destination. So when someone clicks on this picture, where do you want them to go? And then you have to put it on what's called a board. So your board, it can be by topic or something like that. I have some boards that are secret, and then I have some boards that are publicly visible. So obviously, I probably want to put it on my publicly visible ones. So you need to have a Pinterest account to use Pinterest. You can't just add your pin and have it go nowhere. So as you see, I would be adding it to my account, and I would be putting it on my particular Pinterest board. So that's generally how it works. It's a visual kind of representation or organization of links and videos and other things like that. Pinterest is not immune to the short video phenomena, which I'll get into in a second. But you can put animated GIFs, you can put stills, or you can put little videos within Pinterest as well. So it takes a variety of formats, but the idea is that it's visual and it's, kind of unique in that way. So before I get more into it, again, I'm Nicole. If you've never met me before, my company is Breaking Even Communications. Been doing this for 14, almost 15 years now, coming on, and I love this stuff. So if you want to learn more, you can go back wherever you're watching this and see past videos. You can also go on YouTube and click on the playlists, and you'll see stuff about different topics. So this one's going to go under social media, obviously. So a couple of things you need to know about Pinterest if you've never used it before or have never even thought about using it before. First thing is Pinterest is where people go to buy stuff. Now, let me give you an example. I was looking for a rug for my office when I was moving into my office a couple of years ago. There was a rug, it had a stain on it. My landlord didn't want to replace it. And I was like, you know what, we're going to put a rug on top of it and we're going to clean it as well as we can, obviously. And then we're going to put a rug on top of it and it's going to look great. So you go into Google and type in like area rugs and you get a lot of rugs, a lot of which are kind of ugly. Now, what I like about Pinterest is if I go and look at rugs or office rugs, it shows me what the rug looks like in an office. It shows me some ideas and maybe thinks about things like low pile so that my, little wheels can get over them, that kind of thing. So Pinterest is where people go to buy stuff and there's different reports about like the percentage of people who go there to buy stuff, but the buying power of like, I think Facebook is currently ranked highest in terms of like 20% of people when they see a Facebook ad or something. I'm not saying this correctly, but Facebook has like a 20% lift and Pinterest has like a 10% lift. So even though it's less, if you think about the fact that Pinterest is a smaller website than Facebook, it's pretty good. Also, I think part of what gives Pinterest its sort of buying power is the demographics that Pinterest has naturally attracted. So, and I'm not saying this is again, not I'm just making some generalizations here, right? I'm not saying that if you're a 60-year-old dude who loves Pinterest, I'm not disparaging you at all. I'm saying that the demographics of the typical person who's on Pinterest is someone who's making a lot of buying decisions within their household. Tends to be female, tends to be 30 plus, and they tend to be kind of middle income or higher in terms of like they tend to be college educated, so like in terms of like if you're selling a certain kind of product, if you're selling a household product, if you're selling, and it's the kind of thing where the person who's making the purchasing decisions in the house is going to buy it, Pinterest is a good place for you to be. So I think part of that buying power leads to the demographic, and the demographics are kind of tied into each other. The other thing I will say about Pinterest is that ads are less competitive on this platform than they are. I'm not saying that it's not competitive to take out an ad on Pinterest. And if you've taken out an ad on Pinterest and you thought like, wow, that, I spent more than I thought, what I'm saying is compared to what else is out there. And so what I find is around Christmas time, there's, Facebook and Instagram ads get really expensive for my clients. I call it the Q4 WTF because I have to mentally prepare everybody so that even though we've been doing ads for you during other times of the year and gotten some good results, a lot of other people are buying ads now. And since it's a bid-based market, your ad costs are going to go up because people are willing to pay money now. And they're kind of competing with you there. So ads are less competitive on this platform. And I'm not saying they're not competitive. I'm just saying that compared to your other options, in particular around the holidays, it tends to be less expensive. And I've had some good luck running ads on Pinterest. To be honest, I forgot to do it for this live stream. I did some other experiments, which I'll show you in a second, but I forgot to run an ad to show you what that's like. So maybe I'll do a part 2 and just do it all about ads. But I just want to put out there that if you're thinking about spending some ad budget on social media advertising, Pinterest is something not a lot of people think about, but it can definitely be very effective for a lot of people. The other thing is that, so you saw in that sample a second ago, well, I mean, I didn't actually upload a pin, but it's an image and it sits on a board, right? So it's almost like a status update on Facebook or a tweet on Twitter. And so part of what you're looking for with, well, not entirely necessarily, but longevity is a really big deal in the social media world because there's so much coming at us all the time and everybody has like more and more stuff, right? So Pinterest pins, I was trying to find a good source. I'll include the source where I got this in the video description once it's posted. But I saw that, Facebook longevity when you post a status update is like 15 to 30 minutes or something. And Pinterest pins can last for months or in some case years. So this particular blog was talking about how their clients have experienced traffic years into the future with a Pinterest pin. And I'm here to confirm this, and I'll show you on my own site. Pins that I pinned in 2017 are still driving traffic today. So think about like the time that you spent writing that Instagram post or that status update, and it goes poof, right? And think about the time you would spend on a pin that will get you back dividends in the future. And obviously Pinterest drives traffic, which is like what this video is called. It sends, so it's really nice when people see your message on different websites and stuff, but it's really nice when they click through, and in particular when they're, going to buy something, but at the very least when they click through to your website. So if your website, generates, any kind of revenue based on visits, or if you have a product to sell online, obviously you want to drive traffic. So what I want to talk a little bit about for the most of this today is my findings with my little experiments. So the first thing I want to tell you is that during this experiment, which I didn't announce that I was doing experiments, but I got a message from my sister and she said I could post this. So I'm going to post this now. So this is, so apparently my pin, so she follows me because she's a good sister. She was looking for teaching stuff and my pin about e-commerce sites came up, which I think is really funny because, anyway, so it's funny that it showed up for her and I'm kind of wondering how many other people saw it and they just didn't think to like tell me that they saw it. But my sister follows me, but she definitely saw that pin and that pin was done differently than I typically do my pins. So I'll show you what I did there. It's called an idea pin. So back to my findings, which is that idea pins are worth making. So I'm going to get back to, oh my God, I was showing you where to do the Pinterest pin and I forgot to get back. I meant to do a tab where I was just, there we go, going back to the Business Hub now. Okay, come on, take your time. Okay. So idea pins are basically when you go to create a pin, the one I was showing you a second ago was a basic pin. Another option you have besides creating a pin is you can create an idea pin. An idea pin fits specific criteria. The main thing I think most people watching this would use it for is sharing short videos. So what I did, so let's look at my stats here. And actually, I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit. So I did 2 videos. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. So I did 2 videos. Well, I did several videos, but I posted 2 videos around the same time. So the one all the way to the left and the 1 second from the left. Okay, so the 1 second from the left is an idea pin. Look at how much more traffic, look at how many more impressions that it got. So that's the one that my sister saw, 4 softwares that let you build a free e-commerce site. The one all the way on the left is a video of a similar topic, not the exact same video. I should have done that. Now, sometimes I always think of ways I could have done it better. Are you guys like that too? Lying in bed thinking about conversations. I think about ways I could have done this better now that I'm doing this live stream, but maybe there can be a part 2. Wow, that screen grab on that last, the video all the way to the right. Amazing. So as you see, the video got a lot of impressions and 2 people clicked on it, which went through to my website. So I would say that even though the idea pins are a few extra steps in terms of their creation, they are worth doing. So when you go create an idea pin, we can just kind of go through this really, gonna create new, and it's going to take you through like uploading the thing and then designing it and finishing it. So there's 3 steps. Oops, it's hiding it with my my little my goodness, I've been having issues with my mouse on this computer. There we go. Let's get rid of that. There we go. So you see there's like 3 steps here. So point being is that the idea pins, they're a little bit more work, but they definitely drive some traffic. The other thing I will say is that I've run ads, but in particular, and I've been reading more about this and hearing about other people's experiments. If you have an Etsy shop, it seems like the Etsy, taking out an ad to an Etsy shop and Pinterest seem to work really well together. I don't know why or how they're tied into each other, but I ran an ad for one of my clients who has an Etsy shop, and I meant to get their permission before this broadcast to show results, but I didn't get that permission, so I'm not going to. But they were very impressed with, I think I had like a $25 budget, how much traffic I was able to drive with that, which is like pretty interesting. And I think it is worth making Pinterest pins if you do make any kind of money driving traffic. And I'm going to show you 2 examples on my own websites where Pinterest drove some traffic. So the first website is my e-commerce site. So I made these Pinterest pins in 2017. So, right, a while ago. So on this site, I just looked at traffic for the last, since 2008, since 2017, essentially. And I see that Pinterest has driven me traffic. But let's look at this traffic by date, shall we? I did this a second ago and I couldn't believe it. So look at the dates that Pinterest is driving traffic. And yeah, it's like 2, 3, 4, 5 visits or whatever, but it's driving traffic all the way into 2021. So pins that I made in 2017 are driving traffic 4 years later for my site. Now, I am not as good at using Pinterest for my business, my marketing company as I should be, but I definitely decided to make an effort for this video. Guys, like I do this for a living and there's some things I know I should be doing. So I went here and I just went for the last month. So I started using Pinterest in earnest. Like, when were those pins uploaded? Oh, right. I forgot. I didn't get out of the screen. I think they were uploaded in like the middle of August or something. Oh, I can't click. All right. Right here. There we go. So let's look at the social traffic. Help if I clicked on the right screen. There we go. So social media comprises all social media traffic. And so this is for the last month on my marketing website. So I started using Pinterest in earnest when I knew I was doing this topic. So like what, a week ago. And as you see, Pinterest is driving this much traffic. Facebook is driving this much traffic. So all this to say is that I think Pinterest is worth a little bit of effort. In particular, if when people go to your website, they end up converting, or if they can buy something there, because it does seem to be driving traffic and giving people ideas for the future, even if they're not ready to act on them now. So that's all I got. I think Pinterest is great. If you have additional questions on it, if you want me to do a separate video about advertising on Pinterest, something like that, you can reach out to me wherever you're watching this, on our website or on any of these social media platforms, and I'm happy to do a video on it. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.